Okay, it's story time for the visually impaired people here and anyone else who views this channel. It's time to do a story slash rant on taking Lyft or Uber. If you saw the thumbnail, you saw the Lyft Uber, and you saw visually impaired Lyft stories. So, I'm basically going to rap about taking Lyft and Uber and how it can be anything in between just, okay, I'm going to hop in a car and just boop, point A to point B, to, who's my driver going to be? I hope they don't drive too fast or too slow. Or an anxiety nightmare of nightmarish nightmareness. I used a lot of nightmare there. That's the word I could think of, okay? Okay, let's see. I think we're gonna start from good and then end in nightmare and then maybe end back in good again. So we can at least have a good, compliment sandwich kind of thing. So, if you didn't know by now, this is Faith Journeys with RP65. So faith could mean many things, but on this channel, it means I'm a Christian. Hence, the Bible verses that I talk about at the end of this video and other videos. And I'm running low on these verse cards, so I'm going to have to get more at some point. Or maybe color some and show those on screen for you low vision and people who are loved ones or friends with the visually impaired. But, so the best Lyft rides I have ever had is when I got lifts from Gordon to home when I was done with my Christian classes at Gordon to get my Christian ministry degree, figuring out what I'm going to do with that. This YouTube channel, my other YouTube channel, is one of those are two of the things I'm using the degree for. But I digress. Back to the Lyft. I get in the Lyft, and either the Lyft driver knows that it's Gordon College, already has the Christian radio on because they're nice and considerate, and they're like, well, you were from a Christian college, so I figured this is music you like. Not necessarily music I like, but you're the guest, so here you go. And sometimes they forget to turn it off. They keep it on when they drop me off, so it's like, oh, cool. If they hear something encouraging, they hear a Bible verse or the gospel presented, there you go. Super exciting. So both the Lyft driver and the Lyft guest are benefited, especially if there's, God's word and praise music. But even better than that, I get in the Lyft driver talks to me, asks how I'm doing, what I'm going to school for, and I talk about my ministry degree, and then they talk and they say, oh yeah, I'm a believer, and they turn on the Christian music, and we're just talking about the Bible, talking about the gospel, talking about our favorite Bible stories or sermons, and those are the best Lyft rides, because when I take a Lyft, I'm a hecka nervous every time I'm going home. Why am I nervous going home, you ask? Well, I live in a trailer park off the side of Route 1 in Peabody. And I live in this trailer park that's like right after a fence. So the fence is like a blind spot. So if you didn't know there was a trailer park right after this fence, you'd zoom right past it because it's the last trailer park on this side of Route 1. And right next to it, there used to be the headquarters for a truck place. Actually, it was the headquarters for a garbage truck place. And then there's the truck lot for like all the rider storage 18-wheeler trucks Yeah, I live on a weird highway, okay? So, if you don't know the trailer parks, like, right after this fence, you just drive right back. Because the thing about trailer parks is, the trailer parks are only, like, 3-4 feet above the fence. So, with the depth perception, if the fence is right in front of the trailer park, and it's like, if the fence is, like, right in front of the trailers, it's actually, like, a few yards in front, because there's a road, so you just see the tips of the trailers. She just wouldn't even notice if you were a driver. They'd zoom past and, like, you missed it. Now you have to go around and turn around, or they get lost and get frustrated, and you don't really want to be in the car with someone who's frustrated because you don't want to bug them. And then, you might get those Lyft drivers who ask why you don't drive out of frustration. They're not supposed to do that. Not a lot of my Lyft drivers do that anymore because they were taught they're not supposed to do that. It kind of leans towards the HIPAA violation a little bit. I'll talk about HIPAA in some of my nerdier, more, resource videos. I haven't made any of them yet, but I'll talk about that at some point too. But that's why I'm hecka nervous to get driven home, because they could pass it. Like, if I were blind, they'd pass it, because I have to tell them, oh, it's coming up right after this fence. Right after this fence is a hard right. If I had less vision than just having a visual impairment with significantly, like, low vision, because my vision's slightly lower than just, like, someone with low vision that's not legally blind. There's perfect vision, slightly not perfect vision, low vision, visually impaired, legally blind, severely low vision, and blind. That's the order I put it in. Hey, shh, quiet. My dad's device just went off and went, ee. I'm talking, so the AIs need to stop interrupting their creators. So, a semi-nightmare Lyft ride. Okay. The Lyft ride where if you are an orientation and sense of direction nerd, you're either watching the Lyft app as the person's driving you to destination, or you're watching the roads they're going down out the window. So I was being driven home. The home part didn't make me nervous yet because we were so far off. Once we get on Route 1 is when I'm like, okay, I gotta tell them where to go. So we're driving home from, I was at a church in Lexington. And this person took a different way because 128 was so jam-packed with traffic. It was horrible. And, like, I don't recognize this area. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to watch the app, watch where he's driving, just to make sure that, this side road leads us to Peabody and not down a rabbit hole. All of a sudden, he's getting frustrated with traffic, frustrated with stopping at lights, frustrated with people, and he drove super fast. This dude was pushing 40 in a 30-mile-per-hour speed limit road. This dude was 10 minutes faster. He almost crashed into someone. We got people honking at us, and I'm like keeping my seatbelt on, looking at the Lyft app, looking at the safety features on the Lyft app, so just in case I need to, like, be like, my Lyft driver's a psycho, this is creepy. And on the off chance he was continuing to get frustrated, I located the unlock button on my door just in case it turns out the Lyft didn't do the background check quite right and he was actually being a psycho. Now, it's super rare. There's like a 0.0001% chance at this point that there's going to be like an evil, psychotic kidnapper Lyft driver, because background checks and the training and the rating people and the safety features through Lyft is just so rigorous. So when I got home, I'm like, I put in the feedback, like, back that was like 2 years ago. They still had like the Lyft app where they had the smiley face for good, the frowny face for bad, the mild smiley face for it's alright, and then like meh face for fair. So I clicked fair and I told them like he was driving really fast, it was freaky. But that is nothing compared to my nightmare of nightmareness Lyft experience. Now, this was not the Lyft. Not the Lyft driver, not the car, not the app's fault. It's everything around the experience. So, I was finishing up at the YMCA in old Manchester, New Hampshire, because I had a job at a church in Manchester, New Hampshire. I left for reasons I've either alluded to in videos in the past or will continue to tell stories about in the future. So, I got this Lyft, usually when I'm done changing after swimming at the Y, and I get to see how far away they are, like whether they're like 7-10 minutes. If they're 10 minutes, I'll just get ready and get my stuff slowly. If they're more like 7-5 minutes, I'll start, heading from the locker room to the main lobby. So I'm in the main lobby, they're like 3 minutes away, and you get that notification that they're 3 minutes away. And then it said they were about 1 minute away. Now what I do is if they're like super 1 minute away, I start heading to the door and I go outside, which takes 30 seconds. So after 30 seconds of me standing in the sidewalk, they'll be there. So they went around through the wrong road and they went to the back of the building at the front. So they were 2 minutes away because of traffic and they were, turning around. And there was one guy was from the Y, another guy wasn't from the Y, and they were getting in their cars. So we're in the city. We're in like midtown Manchester. So this is the city. So if you can predict how foreshadow works, you probably know where this is going because I mentioned 2 guys. Okay? Not that girls can't do this either. Not that any human being couldn't do this either. Usually in the city, it's usually some rough, tough guy. But I don't know, girls can be kind of crazy too, but most of the time it's guys. So the guy that wasn't from the Y was like, hey, you waiting for a ride? I'm like, yeah, what's it to you? I didn't say the what's it to you out loud. I said, yes. He's like, oh, come here, tell me tell you where you live. I'll give you a ride for free. Oh, yeah, I'll give you for free. You get a big discount because you wanted to pay. Somehow he knew I was getting Lyft, because when I get Lyft, I constantly just have my phone in my hand, have the app open, because I just want to know where the ride is to be, conscientious and stuff. And the guy at the Lyft, the guy at the Y, not the Lyft, the guy at the Y is like, no, oh, you told me that you go to that church on Wellington Street, I can take you home, you don't need to pay for Lyft either. So I think the guy that was in the Y was nice, and it wasn't too creepy because I did swim in the same pool and lap lane. We shared a lap lane, but like that's still kind of like mega creepy, especially after this rando said something. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm just gonna wait for my Lyft. It's delayed. I'm just gonna wait. And the freaking non-Y guy kept saying, no, you can get a discount. It's free. I'll take you back to your home. I'll take you back to the place and blah, blah, blah. It's free. And at this point, I'm getting uncomfortable. I'm like, oh my gosh. If I were stupid, I would take this ride from one of them. Now, in a hypothetical scenario, had I taken the ride with the Y guy, maybe I would have ended up back on Wellington Street at the church. But I don't care. I'm mega uncomfortable. It's mega awkward. If I'd taken a ride from the non-Y guy, who the heck knows? Bad things happen to young females and children females, and maybe even young boy and girl children in cities when they're gullible and they don't know to not take rides from strangers. Even Y guy. I just met this dude in the lap lane. I don't care, bro. I don't care. No. He probably saw me in my bathing suit. It's like, who knows? He could be creepy. So the lift's delayed. There's a lot of traffic for some reason. And these guys are both still offering me a ride. Mostly the non-Y guy because he's being a creep. So I go back in the Y building. I book it because I'm like, I'm going to turn around. No. Wait for the lift inside. The lift can wait for me outside now. So I'm just freaking out. I'm freaking out. And once I get in the lift, I'm like, thank God. But I'm still vigilant. I'm still making sure that I know where the unlock button is, the window button is. So if on one chance that this Lyft driver is also cool creepy, I can get out too. So I got back to the house behind the church and everything was fine. I was still freaking out, shaking, and even the people who live in the house had to ask me what was wrong. And I told them, and they kind of cared for me, but they were kind of in their own world. There's a reason why I left. I didn't really feel cared for. I didn't want to be spoiled and cared for and spend time and make friends with these people, be my friend or else clingy. I wasn't clingy to them, but I was like, dude, we're all living in our own worlds. Some of it's because, my generation technology sucks people in forever, but that's another story. I think I've told some roommate stories. Yeah, I'm gonna put a card in for the roommate story about my visual issues and stuff. Those are kind of funny. So let's end with a good Lyft experience. Let's see. I think a recent good Lyft experience was when I took a Lyft to the pool. I get a little nervous that the Lyft drivers aren't gonna find my house because, again, if they're coming off Route 1, they gotta turn a hard right angle right after that fence. But it seems to me that the GPSs are better at finding the pickup location than getting to the drop-off location. So I'm getting in this car, I'm going to the pool, so it says it's a short 7-minute Lyft ride, so I don't get usually nervous about those, especially considering my point B for my house. They won't pass it. It's just usually a place that I go to from my house is, I don't have to tell them, oh yeah, go this way, go that way. I just hate giving directions when Lyft drivers bring me home. Because for once I just want to sit, relax, and just having someone drive me into my house. Excuse me for living. Excuse me for that nerve-wrackingness to get to me. So I take them ride to the pool. They're playing cool music. Not Christian music. It's just normal music. But they're playing some good, good tunes. And it seems like a nice guy. And it's just, the reason why this is a good story is it's just one of those smooth Lyft rides where everything just worked out. They picked you up in the right timing. They had good music. They were very nice to you. Most of the Lyft ride, they're quiet. But if they wanted to talk, I would be willing to. I wanted to talk, I could have. And it just got to my destination in good time. So I just wanted to lighten the nightmare load with just some good Lyft rides. Because, let's face it, Lyft can be kind of nerve-wracking. It can be nerve-wracking in general to not be able to drive and not be able to just jump in a car and just go whenever you want. And I know to you normal-sighted people, there are issues. You gotta get your tires changed, oil changed, windshield washer fluid, and make sure you have enough gas in the car. But we visually impaired people don't think about the issues of having a car. We think about you don't have to get in a car with a stranger driving you places. You don't have to worry about whether or not they know where your house is. And you don't have to worry whether or not waiting outside to get your lift is going to cause you to almost get freaking kidnapped. So I guess the moral of this story/rant video is, I guess we all have it rough. Sighted people have car stuff they gotta take care of and car issues they have to deal. And we have creepy issues with jumping in someone's car. Hopefully we can just wait outside without, people being weirdos. But I have a scripture. I know it has like stuff about debt in it, but the message within this scripture seems to be a good one. Let no debt remain outstanding except the continuing debt of love to one another, for whoever loves others has fulfilled the law. I figured debt because Lyft, you pay and they're giving you a ride, and if they're creepy, you don't want them to feel like you owe them, because that's super creepy. And I don't know, I guess sometimes when you are visually impaired and your family wants you to take Lyft instead of them just driving you, don't make them feel like, oh yeah, you're the reason why I'm visually impaired, your genetics is the reason why I'm visually impaired, so you owe a debt to me, or something like that. Honestly, I had 2 of these, let no debt be outstanding, and I didn't know how to apply it to a video. So I figured with all the potential owing people favors regarding getting rides and stuff connected to Lyft, I could just like give this one away when I evangelize, because I see this staring at me in the box. I'm like, I don't know what video to match this with. I just want to match it to a video. The debt we should be having is to love one another, for whoever loves others has fulfilled the law. Not loving one another, going, I'm going to offer you a free ride and kidnap you and make you like, go to another country and, sell you to other guys. I'm saying it without saying, because I don't think you can say certain things on YouTube anymore. Smash smaffing. Yeah, smash smaffing. I think most adults know what I'm saying. Really bad. That's not love, that's fake love. Plus, that's love bombing. There's a difference between loving someone genuinely and loving them with like the spirit of God, and love bombing them just to get them to do what you want, get your way, or lure them into a trap. So, offer you a free ride, but you're gonna owe me because I'm gonna take you to like Mexico or whatever, or some other country. Who knows? I could have just been kidnapped. Who knows? But either way, woo. Romans 13:8 was the scripture. But, Lyft is not usually like that, where you're waiting outside and someone could be like, hey, you have a free ride, or even like, oh, this Lyft driver's driving too fast. It's very rare. Usually either there's traffic and you happen to be in the middle of a city where people are creepy, or they're just frustrated with the traffic and they just put the pedal to the metal a little bit. So, this was a longer video than I thought, but I really wanted to get it out there, and it's very relatable because it's about Lyft and taking rides and the anxiety around it. But the love of God can reassure us when we're feeling creeped out or like Lyft is awkward. So if you like this video and you found it relatable, give it a thumbs up, because when you give it a thumbs up, YouTube will push the video to more people. And if you want to see more videos and watch even more videos about rants, stories, experiences, subscribe to the channel, and you can get some shorts and long form videos. And when you subscribe, the channel gets pushed out to more visually impaired people, or people who are loved ones or friends with visually impaired people. And if your YouTube app is not exploding and you want the latest, greatest, and most recent video as they come out, ring the bell. And if you ring the bell on this video and other videos, you can customize it to be all, sometimes, or whatever your settings on your device can have you customize it as. Anyway, that's all now. That's all for today. And next time, I'll probably be doing a rant on another visually impaired symptom of mine, or an experience similar like Lyft, or something that came up this week, because this one came up. So that's it for now. Goodbye for now. I said for now a lot. Bye-bye.